right, babies, before we get started, I want to take a second to make something crystal clear. You do not have to be flexible to have really good sex. Sex can feel great no matter how flexible you are. But I thought it would be fun to mix things up and do a little bit of sex yoga, especially because the benefits of yoga actually carry over into your sex life. Let's face it, the #1 libido killer has got to be stress. By decreasing your stress, you might find that you're actually craving sexual activity again. So you can do these moves solo or you can try them with a partner. But beware, if you do try them with a partner, your session might end a little bit early and you might move into a different type of session, if you know what I mean. Now let's lube up our body and get it prepared for sex. Here are my top 5 moves that will transfer over to improving your sex life. But speaking about improving your sex life, ever heard of beducated? Perhaps you heard me talk about it before, or maybe you are new tuning into my channel. And if you are new, don't forget to like and subscribe because here we talk about everything sex and sex education. Luckily for you guys, so does beducated. In my eyes, they are the #1 sex education platform on the market today, designed to help you level up your sex and level up your sex skills. Perhaps you're wanting to explore a more safe BDSM and don't really know where to start. Or maybe you simply want to give the best head that your partner has ever had. No matter what you want to learn, whether it be self-pleasure or all the way to kink, beducated has over 100 courses on literally anything you can think of. And they're all led by the world's top sexperts. The craziest thing about our sex education, if you were even taught it, is that it was so dry and so boring. Literally, the only thing they talked about is how not to get pregnant and how not to spread an STD or an STI. And with beducated, yes, of course they talk about safety, but we are here to learn how to have pleasure and how to give pleasure to our partners. And they teach us in a way where we all want to learn. And can I hear a hell yes for visual demonstrations? Plus, they also give you practical techniques so that you can learn seamlessly. Maybe you're learning solo, or maybe you want to learn with a partner. Either way, you have to check them out, and I'm gonna hook you guys up with 24 hours of free access into the website so you guys can go cruise those courses for yourself. All you guys have to do is click the link down below and enter in the code PLEASUREBABY, and you will be gifted that free 24 hours of access. And when you fall in love and you want to stay just a little bit longer, we're also gonna gift you 50% off the whole year. Trust me when I say you guys do not want to miss out on this opportunity. You have 14 days money back guarantee, but I promise you, you will not be disappointed. One of my favorite courses has got to be G-Spot Bliss. The teacher is absolutely amazing. She does a really good job at executing techniques, teaching you about your anatomy, and also she adds in an additional technique on how to get her to squirt. Either way, there is no way you can't finish that course from start to end without being able to find your G-spot and have a G-spot orgasm. So maybe you want to practice on yourself, or maybe your partner wants to practice on you. It could be a really sexy date night. So go on, check it out, and click that link down below. All right, like I said, let's go move our body. The first one is the wide-legged standing forward fold. Why did I feel like that was such a mouthful? So how to get into this position? Well, basically it is a standing forward fold, but your legs are spread a little bit wider. In my books, this is an A1 hammy opener. And it is really important to give your hamstrings and your quads a little extra lovin' if your job involves you sitting for 90% of your day. So if you can't reach the floor, no worries at all. We can create a modification. You can either hold onto a table or hold onto a countertop, or you can wrap the sex strap around the receiving partner's hips to give the giver's thrust a little bit more oomph. But how does this transfer over into sex? This position is great for oral, it's great for P in the V, and it's also great for anal. And if you're into it, a little strap play or even a little pegging. When you bend forward into that fold, your pelvis opens up behind you, allowing your partner to have better access to all of your holes. The second pose that I want to give to you guys is called butterfly. But how exactly do we get into this pose? Starting in a seated position, you're going to be pressing the soles of your feet together, letting your knees fall open wide. Move your heels in as close as you can to your groin to intensify the stretch and let your hips open. Butterfly is one of the best positions for stretching your hips. The more that our hips open, the more positions that we're able to try, which brings way more creativity and way more variety into our sex life. If you're wanting to try some new positions, check out Beducated's course, Sex Positions. They give you live demonstrations on how to get into the position and how to mix things up and get them a little bit more spicy. Sometimes if your hips are very, very tight, we might not be able to fully get into this position. So here's some modifications. You can try sitting on top of a pillow, a cushion, roll up some towels and place them underneath your butt. This way it will keep your spine completely straight and allow you to actually sink in a little bit deeper into your stretch. However, if you're finding the stretch is just too intense on your inner thighs, you can also take a yoga block and place them on either side of your knees, taking off some of that tension, or you can roll up a towel, use a cushion, or use some pillows. But all of these modifications will still allow you to sink to the desired depth. How are we going to use this during sex? Well, this is actually a really comfy way to receive oral. The third pose that I have for you has got to be one of my favorites, and it is Happy Baby. Happy Baby is an amazing stretch for your inner thighs. In fact, this is a position that will help you become a little bit more comfortable with lifting your legs up in a position such as missionary. So how exactly do we get into this position? This position, we are going to be laying flat on our back, bringing our knees into our chest at a 90-degree angle. From there, we're going to face the soles of our feet up towards the ceiling, reach forward and grab the inner or the outer side of your foot, or an option to grab your big toe as well. How exactly does this pose transfer over into the bedroom? Well, it allows deep vaginal penetration as well as anal penetration. Now that we've done a few lower movements, we also want to make sure that we're stretching and strengthening our upper as well. So the fourth pose that I have for you is called Cobra. This pose strengthens and stretches both your shoulders and your chest muscles. If you work at a desk all day, your chest muscles are extremely tight and you probably are looking like a bull. You need to open that up, and this is an amazing pose for exactly that. This pose is an absolute must if you enjoy giving or receiving analingus or cunnilingus. But how exactly do we get into this position? Laying on your tummy, you're going to be placing your palms flat on the ground right underneath your shoulders. Bend your elbows straight back and hug them in towards your sides. Pause for a moment here, looking straight down, keeping your neck in a neutral position. Anchor your pubic bone to the floor. Inhale and lift your chest off of the floor. Roll those shoulders back, keep your chest proud and those lower ribs touching the floor. Make sure your elbows are still hugging your sides. Your gaze should remain on the floor, keeping your spine neutral. The modification here is to either place a pillow or a rolled up towel underneath your hip bones. This is gonna prop their bits up just a little bit more. This belly down position is great for being penetrated from behind, whether that be your booty or vaginally. And you can totally receive analingus in this position as well. And last but not least, my favorite position of them all, honestly, I do these every single day. It is cat-cow. We gotta lubricate our spine. So actually when I do these, I also like doing rib rotations as well. This allows me to open up everything and allowing me to do some spinal twists, so when I get bent up into a pretzel, I don't blow my back out. But this position actually helps our sacrum open up and settle into a really good position, which gives us the ability to actually position our pelvis in a variety of different positions through sex. Because if that sacrum isn't moving, you're gonna have some whack-ass side joint pain. So we will actually be moving in this position. So first we're gonna start off on all fours, or the tabletop pose. As you inhale, you are gonna be moving into cow pose. Lift your sit bones upward, or lift your booty upwards. Press your chest forward and allow your belly to sink. Lift your head up, relax your shoulders away from your ears, and gaze straight ahead. As you start to exhale, you are gonna be moving into cat pose. Here you're gonna be rounding your spine outward, tucking in your tailbone, so making your bum really small, and drawing your pubic bone forward. Release your head towards the floor. Remember, do not force your neck to your chest. The most important thing here is to relax. I like to run through this at least 10 times. After running through cat-cow, since I'm already in this position, I will start to do rib rotations in one direction and then rib rotations in the other. Keep in mind, you look ridiculous while doing this, but I'm telling you, it is the ultimate lubrication for your spine. Holding your body up in cat-cow can be hard on your wrists or your arms, especially if you have not been conditioned for it. Don't worry, you will get there. But consider leaning over a sex wedge or a pillow. This will allow you to keep your hips in the same position while also giving your upper body a little bit of a break. And how exactly does this transfer over to sex? Well, I'm not gonna lie, this is a really great rocking motion that you can do when you are on top riding. And since it enhances your pelvic mobility, it's really great for anal or vaginal penetration. And I just wanna add one final pose, and it is called the corpse pose. This pose teaches us to surrender, which is one of the most important things in our sex lives or our sexuality. It encourages our body to release any remaining physical tension or muscle tension. tension. So this is actually a really great position for you guys to end your session off with and get nice and cuddly and intimate together. After this pose, you are primed to have fully present sex. All you have to do for this position is lay flat on your back, allow your arms to rest alongside your body, and let your feet flop open. If you're somebody who struggles with low back pain, feel free to modify by placing a pillow underneath your knees. This will allow your lower back to lay flat on the ground. All right, babies, that is it. That is all I have for you guys today. Don't forget to check out Beducated. Use the code PLEASUREBABY when you click that link down below, and I will see you next week for another episode. Cheers.